Hi, welcome back in a Power BI course. In this session, we are going to discuss the concept of the Sparklines. But before proceeding about what is the Sparklines and how we can use in Power BI, let me remind you all the related selected videos is available on my YouTube channel. You just go to the YouTube, search me on the Fahad Hussain CS, come to the playlist. There are a lot of the videos are there, more than 1200 dedicated from with respect to the playlist are there. You can watch it. Whereas if you want to download the material related to the dedicated videos, you just visit on my blog, fahadhusaincsblogspot.com. So what are you waiting for? Do subscribe the channel to get familiar about tech, what is going on in the field of the technology. Okay, before proceeding about the Power BI in the Sparklines, I just show you this example of the Sparkline from the Excel first. So I just open the Excel here. I have two major columns, countries name from United States to Brazil, and this is a revenues in the USD billion forms. Okay, and after that, the third column, I just write a Sparklines heading. So Sparklines actually a tiny visualization graph in a form of the column or the line chart that represent the trend in the series of the values. For example, what are the trend in this series of the values? I want to represent in a cell-based graph. Okay. So I just go to the insert option where the graphs present the charts. Just after the chart, there is a Sparklines option. If I zoom it to show you, there it is. Okay. And I want to apply the line option. So I just click on the line option and now data range. My data range is 25,000 to 2,000. I select and click OK. So in this region, you can see that the trend, if I just change the value, the trend value will also change. So I just click and drag. So this all trending lines is available here. And after that, I just changing the random values like 38,000 here. Okay. Similarly, 29,000 here. You can see that when I just changing the value, the trend line is completely changed. Okay. That represent that how the pattern of the data is look like. Even this data are available in a column wise. If this data are available in the row wise, you can also represent it. Look at here. There is a data, the same data I just write here in a form of the complete row. I just come here, click on the insert line, select the series of the values. And after that, I just click OK. The trend line is there. I just change the value and other trend is also changing like this. So this is the definition with respect to the proper example in Excel. Okay, how I can do the same thing. So if I just open the Power BI, the financial data, the sample data I used here, and I just open this sum column of the values from the financial data in a matrix. I just open a matrix here. This is a matrix in a visualization. And here it is. You can observe that three options, rows, column, and values. So I can add a values in this format. Whereas if I just add a table, only the values column will be there. Values option will be there. So I just drop a countries in a row, okay, and profit in a values. When I drop it, so you can see that countries and profit, the values are showing in a form of the two separate column, countries and sum of the profit, because in a values I just drop the profit. Okay, I just zoom it and I just drag this one. Okay, now I want to show the Sparkline with respect to the trend of the profit. Okay, the trend of the profit is there and I want to show the Sparklines. Okay, remember that if you draw the any type of the graph, the visualization required a x-axis and y-axis. But when I just draw the Sparklines here, so he just represent the pattern of this series of the value in a y, but there is no x-axis value, which means that by itself Excel choose the x-axis value. Okay, and after that this series of the values represent in a y-axis. But in Power BI, there is a requirement to choose a x-axis as well with respect to the profit column, which is represented in a y-axis. Okay, so how I can add a Sparkline here? So I just go to the sum of profit, which means profit column, and I just right click on it. When I right click, so at the top you can see that add a Sparkline here. I just click on it. When I click, so it will represent that you are going to add a Sparklines using a profit, and the summarization is selected somewhere. You can change it as well, average, minimum, maximum, and other things. I will remain it sum. Okay, what is the column of the x-axis? I just click. You can add here a majors. You can add any number of the column here from the table. So I have only the financial data. So I am going to choose here a unit sold column. Okay. Add calculation group 2. Which type of the calculation group do you need, individual or the entire? So individual values or the entire Sparklines. I just click on the entire Sparklines. Okay, the entire columns I am going to use. Okay, I will change it as well. So I just click create. When I click create, the Sparklines column is going to add it here. There we go. You can see that, and it is represent the trend in a column of profit and units sold. Okay, so it represent. By the way, I can change the line chart into a column chart as well. Look at here. I just zoom out, go to the properties, and under the properties of this matrix, go down, and there is a Sparklines option. Click on it. I just show you the zoom option. There is a line. You can change the color, by the way. I just change it into the black changing. You can increase the width as well. You can see that it's a more darker or thicker. So 2 will be the good one. Also, I can change line chart into the column chart, but before it, there is a marker option as well in the line chart. So I can just represent my data into the marked way. Every point, all points are, you can see that represented in a circle form. Okay, you can change the color, circle change, maybe change into a filled triangle, okay, a diamond shapes, a circle, cross, dash, plus sign, and so on. And you can also increase the size. But I'm going to change the line chart into a column from the same Sparkline option. I just click column, and you can see that data is represented in a column wise as well. So this is the shortest and very easiest way to add a Sparkline with respect to the column and row, which column and row you are going to choose to represent your data in a tiny graph visualization. Okay, so if I just make it more robust, so I can add one more columns in a value, and after that your value will be distributed, and then with respect to the distributed value, it also represents the graph. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, I just zoom out. You can see that this time while Sparklines showing by profit and units sold. But if I just drop the year column, remember that in a year there is 2 year values, 13 and 14. 2013 and 14 values are there. I just drop the year in the add column, and when I add, you can see that the sum of the values are represented here in a form of the year. But if I just drop this year of sum of the year in a column, you can see that when I just drop into a column, which means that I need columns. So when I drop the columns, this year value 13 and 14 is divided into a 2 part. Why? Because there is a distant value 13 and 14 on it in a column. So 13 values will be here, 14 value will be here. So sum of the profit, it's characterized, divided into a 2 part, 13 and 14. And not only this thing, the Sparklines of the profit is going to use 3 times. One for the 13, one for the 14, and the last one is used for the total as well. Okay, you can also use for the total. Look at here, that is a total one, because in aggregation, always rows and columns show the sum of the values as well. If you want to not use this one, you can disable this one. But I'm just showing that if I just drop the values in a column, the Sparklines is going to divide with respect to that column. Okay. So there is a properties option. I just need no column subtotal, no row subtotal. That's why I just show you. You can disable this one. So I just disable the row sum and column sum, and here it is my values of the Sparklines with respect to the year column of 13 and 14. Okay. By the way, you can also apply the blank rows options, so it will make your visualization more in a better way. Okay. So I just blank rows add by the white color. You can change it into a gray one as well. Okay. Or already a gray is there, so I just choose a white one. Okay. The grid option is there. Horizontal grid, if you want to visualize it into a more thicker, so you can use it by the color like this. Okay. So you can see that your graph is look like a very smart in a visualization. Okay. So options are there. You can also apply the column header, row header if you want. Okay. The Sparklines option. That's all about the Sparklines, by the way. How we can add the Sparklines, how we can visualize it, how we can make our matrix in a good way. Okay, table matrix is ready. I just make it, adjust the size, and I can move it anywhere I just want. Okay, so in future, if there's a requirement of the matrix with Sparklines, how you will learned already. Okay, hope you will understand the concept. If you have any query regarding this topic, whatever we discuss or previously we discuss, feel free to write the comment. Okay, in the upcoming days we are going to discuss more advanced thing in a Power BI with respect to the professional examples. So see you on the next session. Do subscribe the channel.